Hey everybody, this is your girl Deborah Coco. We are here at the Watson Hotel for Femcon 2018. It is going down right now. There's a panel going in full bloom right now, and we have another one and some great performances. Jazzy Joyce is on the ones and twos. If you don't know about Femcon, it empowers women. It's a women's event, women's movement, so to speak. We get to hear so much about the industry for some experts and professionals in the business, and we also get to see some great performances by some up-and-coming artists. So again, I'm your girl Deborah Coco. We are here and we're going to bring it to you. Shout out to DJ Mario TV. He's in the building. Again, Keisha Williams, much love for this flag, for this mic. I'm totally loving it. And we'll be back with more, everybody.
Hey, what's up, what's up, what's up? You got Angelic Creations in the building. We are live here at the Femcon event. This event is about networking and people coming together, and that's what it's really all about. I know you people are watching on IG, Facebook, da-da-da-da-da, but if you ain't here, you're missing out. Follow me at KY Angelic, KYANGELIC, not K, all right? Get it in your life. Follow me at Angelic Creations on YouTube as well, so I could quit the slave job and I could do this full time. You know what I'm saying?
Hey! Can the church say L? Let the church say L. Okay, like I told you, just never know who's in the building, what's going to happen. And as we are preparing to set up, I found a talent who would like to express her talents to you. She's a spoken word artist. Can we please snap our fingers? Snap your finger. We're gonna bring it. Snap your finger. We're gonna bring it back to the essence of what spoken word is. A lot of y'all rappers don't even understand where it came from. So if you're gonna do something, go back to the root and find out why you're doing it, and respect those that did it before you. Right?
My name is Karen Yelverton. My brand is Angelic Creations. You can follow me at KY Angelic. Angelic is spelled with a C, not a K. And I just want to thank Jazzy for inviting me out tonight. I feel the energy in the room, and anytime I have an opportunity to represent for my sisters, we make it happen and we do what we do. So this piece I'm going to spit for y'all tonight is called Beautiful Black Queen.
Excuse me, cilantro, everybody, cilantro, please. We going, because she's not even singing and she's not rapping. It's going to be low and we got to hear her, right? I'll be here. Don't worry about that later. I'll be here.
And this is for the queens. You with me too, King, but this is for y'all too. I have my back to y'all, but I don't want y'all to think, you know.
God, thank you for the thing because I feel that going to change the attitude, believe it, let us help us see the things that we need to be. Anything that is in our feelings that has not helped you, please move it right now so we can have a promising Femcon in Jesus' name, amen? Amen. Now, come on, we're going to bring the Lord to the club. Get out. Come on, he knows you. He knows you.
Hey, beautiful black queens. Do you know your worth and what it means? To wear the color of your skin, melanin rich, body, butts, legs, and butts, some with thin and thick lips, you know they want to fool you and play tricks. Make you think you're truly not the gods. Blissfully balanced in brilliance and bravery, stop believing that we began and came from slavery. Your mother earth from birth of its foundation is God's gift and God's creation. Women were chosen to carry and care for life, 9 months in the womb, some premature, a little impatient, filled with the task of beautifying this world, demanding their time, love, and patience. Women were blessed with this blossoming bonus of birth in a human life, ready to take flight, being watched with this microscopic light. And I know it's hard at times for you to understand, constantly under attack. Movies, music, entertainment, political issues and views. We are negatively labeled with negative reviews, making it difficult to choose. When they calling us worthless bitches and hoes, it's just not all on you. Now, to avoid this repetition, understand it takes proactive listening. But you're told to be tough, suck it up, because life gets rough, blinding others to seeing the beautiful queen in you, because we have been following America KKK standards of beauty and qualifications, with their definition of beauty, well, it needs an explanation. Say that. Now, Jazzy, I don't usually like to name names, but this right here is for the sake of our youth who demand that I speak the truth. Asking why those Kardashians get so much attention, along with Scarlett Johansson, Jessica Biel, and Megan Fox, are the definition of what y'all girl thinks are hot? Absolutely not. Not when we have the likes of beautiful queens such as Taraji P. Henson, Sister Soldier, Queen Latifah, Erykah Badu, Janelle Monáe, Rihanna, Solange, and B. Hello. Understand, beauty comes in all shapes, colors, and sizes, trust me. Close your eyes for a second and imagine a world without you. Without your beautiful, bold self brightening up this world with the presence of your style, your smile, your swagger, you know your happiness makes them mad. Questioning why you do what you do, why you accomplish any and everything you put that mind to. You know, I met so many beautiful women of color as I look around this room. Yeah, I can tell y'all one of them too. You see, beauty is a state of mind, ladies and gentlemen. What you see in that mirror is mirrored by what is in your mind. So be better than expected. Be extraordinary. Go beyond ballistic. Because when I look around this room, I see absolutely nothing but beauty. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, hello. See, I'm trying to tell you, just never know who's in the building, the kind of talent that you are surrounded by. I feel like sometimes we do a disservice to ourselves by coming to events with friends because we walking in with our comfort zone. I gotta share these, and then we don't network with other people. So we're gonna get ready to start the panel soon, but we're gonna let DJ Jazzy Joyce do what she do because she is a legend. Make some noise for her, please. Do it. But if somebody see my clipboard,
I brought it back, so at least if you're gonna play with it at the right section. It goes
play with it. I'll play with it.
1, 2, 3. Here we go.
It's like I'm on dope.
Wrong words.
Are you really getting me high? Ooh, it feels like I'm on dope.
What else?
Cause you set me on a wreck. I'm gonna mumble this out. Y'all gonna do this? Boy, you really got a stroke. Ooh.
Fuckers and me.
I told you I was gonna mumble. You wanna let me do that?
Right.
See?
Y'all ready?
Let's take this overboard now. I want you to.
Stroke it for me.
Now stroke it, now get the strap.
Pull up, pull up.
Oh.
Yes.
1, 2. All right, chill long enough. All right, let's give your host a round of applause, please. Just listen, holding us down. We're officially about to start. Appreciate your patience. The patience and the wait will definitely be worth it. I want to say welcome to Femcon 2018. My name is LA Sunshine. I'm part of my man's crew. But before we do the actual production and start the panel discussions and the ciphers and the mixtape, before we get into that, this usually happens at the end, but the majority of times when this happens at the end, there's some people that are gone and you don't get to receive this information, so I want to do it first before we start anything. And what I mean by that is I want to introduce the gentleman that put this entire thing together. Without him, it wouldn't be possible, so I want us to acknowledge Mr. Tariq Nelson and come and say a few words. You ain't got to look so cool, though. You see him? Go ahead, man, holler at the people.
I want to just thank everybody for coming out, and I want y'all to know I'm living my dream, y'all. Who here wants to live their dream? Raise your hand. I'm living my dream. Watching y'all come out here and perform, I love this. This is why I do this. Thank y'all for coming out. Thank my staff, my team for putting this together. This is like a difficult thing to do, and they came together out of love to help me put this thing together so we can teach and educate everybody in this room and beyond. The main thing I want everybody to get out of this, anybody who's an artist, I want you to change your thinking. Yes, be a dope artist. Yes, know your lyrics, know your rhymes, know your profession, know your skill. But I want you to understand that you are a business first. That's the main message I want everybody to get. You are a business, and start conducting yourself like a business. I want you to start studying business, because it's really the same thing. How you get followers, it's the same way McDonald's gets customers. The same way you have to get fans. It's the same techniques. But a lot of us, we just think about rapping and rhyming and singing and dancing, and we just miss everything out. And then at the end of the day, we're crying about somebody stole our money and we didn't get this right. We got stuck, we got lost, and we don't have anything at the end of our life. So that's the main message. And I'm hoping that anybody up here who's on our panel can, really reiterate on that. Without any further ado, let me get Miss Lissa up here to kick this off. And I want to introduce our host tonight, the queen, the new queen of all media, Miss Lissa. Give her a round.
Ow, y'all already know we already did this already. I'm gonna put Tariq again. Tariq was being extra humble. Y'all want me to just sit right here and just look at them like mamas on the stage? Okay. I mean, traditionally, yes, but I mean, who cares? It's not about me. It's about these gems here. Clap it up for our panelists. I'm going to introduce them, and then I don't think they're in the order of my paper. So we have author Terry Woods. Make some noise. Okay, hold on. Nobody. Let's go back to Jazzy Joyce for a second while I figure out what happened with this list and the update. Jazzy, kick it. Okay, bam. I'm going to do an acapella. While you just check that list and make sure everybody else is there, because I still have names I'm not sure. Who out here on a date? Who came to Femcon on a date? I didn't think anyone. Nobody dates anymore anyway. It's too hard. Everybody swiping to the left and swiping the panties to the right. Y'all giving it up too fast, so nobody dating. Everybody just getting pregnant and wondering why it's not working. Like, sis, whatever happened to courting? Do you even know what courting is? Courting? It's not when you go to basketball and sit by waiting for somebody to change your life. It's not when you're looking to be a basketball wife, so you go to events hoping that somebody with money. Courting is when you get to know each other. And I know it might sound a little crazy, but back in the day, people got to know each other without taking their clothes off first. Sounds a little weird, I know. With these new generation, like they're just walking up to each other naked. Like, naked has become an outfit. Naked, no, like really, I'm not even trying to be funny. Like somebody went to Afro Party, I was like, what girl? She just wrapped this saran wrap with a bow, and this is like an outfit. And this is like, I see you, sis. I'm not saying I'm not hating. I'm not saying don't do it. All I'm saying is, can we create like, a balance in the system? Everybody can't be Amber Rose. Like some of us gotta be Oprah. Like, girl, somebody gotta do it. Like the same way somebody gotta be a boss, somebody gotta make the coffee. Like I get it, but we still need a balance. Like everybody see the slim tees, the waist trainers, and we all can't do it. I'm not doing it, and y'all see me. Okay, I'm trying to stay in shape. Round is hard to come by. This girl's going into yard for these thoughts. So I just want to nurture mine and let God know that I appreciate what he did for me. Like I didn't even have to go visit nobody. Nobody had to put nothing on me. I didn't have to go to Dubai. You know that. You know go to Dubai. You know how girls get to Dubai. Did y'all know how people get to Dubai? We're gonna get to that later. Is everything good with the left? See, no. So Dubai, I don't know people's grandmothers is in here, so we won't get to Dubai. We're not going to it. But I just want to put some value back into the system. That's all I want to do. It's just like, I was very observant as a child. I know I got this baby face, but I'm of a certain age. I'm not mumble rap. I'm still pure hip hop. I'm still Martin. Like I watch Love and Hip Hop, but I still love to no more because it's not cool to not go with the people. So I'm here to say I don't like it. It's cool, but I just want to put some value back in the system. Tariq, put some value back in the system, Tariq. Okay? Like back in the day, I just feel like it was not so hard to get $40. You never see how hard it is to get $40, you know what I mean? Like, you be like, you know, like, oh my God, like this big, like you start this hinting at stuff. And back in the day, you didn't have to drop a hint. If you just look a little bit stressed out, he'd be like, what's wrong, Coretta? What's wrong with you? Oh, I lost my wallet, Piggly Wiggly, I had my last 40. And he would give it back to you. He would, okay, see, see each other. Okay, Al, it's all set up. Okay, in our first seat we have Taya Simmons. She's a video director. Can someone just give her a mic to just get a little quick like Instagram, the name of your company, because I got one bullet.
Sure. I want to say hi to everybody. Thank you for coming out.
Say hi back.
The first thing I want to say is that I'm more than a video director. I started out as a video director, but now I own my own creative agency. So we help brand companies outside of artists. We work with a bunch of labels, different businesses and brands, and it's just important to always have a bigger vision from where you start from and where you want to go. So, yeah.
See, I had to put some more respect on her name. I knew. And then next we have Gianni Spragley, publicist and owner of 15 East Media
Group.
Yes, okay.
Yes. So hi everybody. It's good to see everybody on a Saturday afternoon. Hey. As she indicated, my name is Gianni Spragley. I own and operate my own public relations and branding firm, which is 15 East Media Group. I started out in corporate America doing public relations, events, branding, and corporate America just wasn't for me at a certain point. So I ended up opening my own company, and a couple years later, here I am. So I am on social media. I'm on Instagram, Gmoney_CMB. You can tell my favorite movie is right. I'm also on Twitter, _Gmoney_CMB. So feel free to hit me up, and I do respond.
Okay, and next we have Robert Celestin. He's an entertainment lawyer.
Yes.
You want to call Bob? You want to call Bob?
Bob.
Okay, Bob. Be friends.
Black man named Bob, right? So my name is Bob Celestin. I'm an entertainment attorney. I've been practicing for over 25 years in the great city of New York. Aries, I'm Haitian also. Haitian, ça passe. I have my own practice. I represent recording artists, singers, songwriters, producers, reality show stars. Most notably clients such as Designer, the late XXXTentacion, Tekashi 6ix9ine, Fatboy SSE, DJ Self, Funkmaster Flex, etc., etc.
Angela, come on. Robin is not here to play. Next we have Elise Murphy. She owns the Elise Group. Elise Murray, I'm sorry. Forgive me? Okay. They chopped my name a bunch, I'm so sorry.
Girl magic, we good.
That's what I'm talking about.
How y'all doing? Hi. Elise Murray. The agency is Elise Group 7 Agency. I'm an independent boutique agency representing established artists across the country. I'm also asked to speak for the Lupus Alliance Research Institute. I was impacted with lupus. Our own agency has been 30 years representing established artists like Maze featuring Frankie Beverly, Cameo, Sherelle, Melissa Morgan, Life Jennings, Genuine, the list goes on and on. We're also asked to do production and all things behind the scenes. Thank you.
And next we have media personality. Okay. Can you say your name, please?
I am Katrina Kapoor. Hello, everyone. Hi. Hi.
Hey, Al.
What do I
I do. I'm a vocalist. I am a singer, songwriter, vocal coach. I am a radio host of the Cupcake Caddy radio show. I'm also a co-host of the Trip Over radio show. I have a jewelry line called Twistedly Expressed. I'm wearing a pair of these fabulous, beautiful earrings as we speak. I think that's about it. Maybe not. It's probably more that I'm not remembering. I'm an artist. I paint. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Al, clap it up. Never end with that said. More to come. God is still working on you. And then we have Mita Leacock.
Hello everyone, my name is Mita.
She can read.
How you doing out here today?
And you're the owner of I Am Wonder Woman Marketing?
I Am Wonder Woman Foundation. Although they have me down as my foundation, I have been in the music industry for 25 years plus. Yeah, I started out as a dancer for Shop Ranks and moved my way in the back office. I've worked at Loud Records. I worked on Wu-Tang Clan's first album. I worked at Bad Boy Records for 3 or 4 years. I did Biggie, I did Puff, I did Carl Thomas's first album. I did Little Kim, I worked on J-Lo. If you look at all those records, if you can find a record these days, a CD, my name is on the back of them. I then went to Interscope where I was a marketing at Interscope. I did City High with Bob. I did Maya's. What you do? I did Maya's album. I worked on Black Eyed Peas, Rough Riders. After that, I went into sports and I started managing a lot of different professional athletes, boxers, football players, NFL, basketball. Right after that, I went back to Universal Motown where I signed Melanie Fiona. I did her album, my A&R, I did the marketing. I did David Banner, did marketing for Akon, a whole bunch of artists. I then started my own company, Wonder Group Media. And I have been doing my own thing ever since then. I started my I Am Wonder Woman Foundation where I mentor young ladies. And I'm currently getting my PhD. I should be graduating in June. So, not let anybody tell you you can't do what you want to do. Okay? My PhD will be in management and leadership. Doctor. Sexy.
Hey. Okay, so as you guys know, this is the Music Biz panel and this is Femcon. So these questions will be mostly directed for the women trying to break it into the industry, but fellas, you can still, switch up the sheets and and then, use that same advice. So, it's so many of you guys, so I'm just going to ask the question and I guess we let like a couple of you answer, then we'll move on, and then I want to let the audience start asking, because I can ask 1,000,001 questions, but y'all already see I got bought on the plane, but I want to know what you guys want to know. But for a woman trying to break into the industry, it's so many difficulties. So what do you feel like should be the first step? Okay, I know I have talent, now what? So whoever feel like they should
have a strong faith.
Okay.
Really, I mean, you have to really be true to yourself and have a really great support system. I know that there are some people who don't have, parents or family members that may support their dream, but even if you have somebody like a friend or an associate that is basically your cheerleader, keep them close, because that person will motivate you and give you the energy to go on. Because there are days, and I'm sure everyone on this panel can attest to, there are days where you're like, why the hell did I even sign up for this? What am I doing? These are some hard times, but trouble don't last always, as my grandmother used to say. So just keep, like I said, keep a strong team and keep your faith high, because in this industry you got a lot of devils that are going to pull you in certain directions that you may not want to be pulled in. So I don't know if anybody else has.
So let me just say this. So from my perspective, someone who's worked with a lot of artists, I think the very first thing that you have to do if you are trying to get into this business is really look in the mirror and ask yourself, do you really have what it takes to make this happen, right? So one, obviously, is talent, right? So assuming you have the talent, the second thing is going to be, how hard are you willing to work? And then what sacrifices are you willing to make, right? This is not a walk in the park, right? So Those of you who have children, right, and you want to do this, as the young lady just said, you need to make sure you have a support system to take care of your child. Make sure that, your children's needs are being met so that you can focus in on doing what it is that you want to do as far as becoming an artist. If you do not have children, then you need to make a decision about when you will choose to have children, because you want to be focused on moving forward in your career. The second thing is relationships will suffer. That's the reality of the situation. If you are dating some dude and he's insecure and he starts telling you can't wear this, you can't wear that, or why you out late, and why you on Instagram with this nigga, blah, 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 it's going to be a problem. Third thing, I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. Watch out for the dick. Okay? A lot of you get dignitized.
Can you say it again? Get what?
I gotta keep it 100. Dignitized. Okay? And then you lose focus on where you need to go.
Yep.
I just tell you that. If you're able to get dick and keep your mind right, cool. If you cannot do that, then be very, very careful about who you're giving it up to. Alright? So I gotta keep it 100. This is Femcon. We're gonna keep it 100.
Yep.
Alright?
We are.
Thanks. Alright.
I want to add to what Bob was saying. Two things I want to add. You need accountability partners. You need to get out of your own head. I have been in the game for 30 plus years, working behind the scenes, video queen, actress, on stage, Broadway, off Broadway. And there are times that we just, and I'm just going to keep it 100, I'm from the Bronx. We just make shit up. Okay? We just make shit up in our head, thinking what we think it is, and the bottom line, it is not what we think it is. You need an accountability partner that can tell you your shit stinks, that can tell you you're on the right track, that can tell you you are slipping. You need accountability partners. The other thing is, do some reading, okay? Do some reading. Everything you need to know about the music business, old school, Donald Passerman. There's CDs, there's books, download, there's videos, YouTube. You need to know in the direction where you want to do in this field and have some knowledge about it. And then go ask questions. I don't care how many times you annoy the author or the person that's involved with that field. Ask questions. All right.
Did you want to add something?
I think in the business, I learned how not to be sensitive. Right? If you're going to be emotional about everything and all the feedback you're getting, you probably won't get very far. So, if someone tells you your shit sucks, it probably sucks. If they give you some feedback that's, detrimental, then I think you should use it. But as artists, you cannot be sensitive if you want to make it in this business. The other thing is, if you do have what it takes, you need to be confident. You have to be consistent. You can't decide to do it today and tomorrow you don't feel like it. You've got to be consistent, otherwise that's not a recipe for success. I think you have to be a little bit more consistent. The other thing is, we a lot of times fall in love with the glamour of it, right? You see yourself on stage, you see yourself, in the dressing room, but you don't see what it takes behind rehearsals, being on tour, being away from your family forever. So these things are also important to know. It's not about how it looks. This shit takes a lot of work, a lot of energy, a lot of dedication, and some of us don't have what it takes. We just see what it looks like. So just be mindful of that.
So coming from the angle of someone who has to sit around and listen to the artists and all the shit that comes with them, excuse my language, I don't want it more than you want it. I don't have time for that. I don't see my family. I don't get to do what I want to do. I don't get to be with my man because I'm here trying to help you get to your dream and your goal. I cannot want it more than you want it. I have this problem so many times with artists where I'm like, this is good for you, this is good, you should try this. And it's like, I don't know. Like, if you're not really sure
You just doing this because you might want to check or it look good on TV and look good on IG. If you ain't really in it, this is not for you. They have a lot of jobs where you could go pretend. Seriously. As for, a couple things that were said as far as being able to look at yourself in the mirror and understand that you need to check yourself. If you want to have a crew around you that's just in the studio like, oh, that shit was hot, oh my God, you killed it. I'm the person that's going to be like, no, sorry, your doubles is off. You need to do it again. The harmony is not there. You sound flat. If you don't want to hear that and you don't want to be perfect, then this is not for you either. So you actually need to sit down, put a list together of what I could deal with, just like when you date a dude and you like, I could deal with this from this dude and I can't deal with that. You need to do that with your career. I could deal with this and I can't deal with that. And if one outweigh the other, then that's the way you go.
That was right. Clap it up.
I have something to chime in.
Of course.
I think something that's really important is to figure out your brand story from the beginning. It's easy to get lost in just being an artist or being an entrepreneur or whatever, but understanding what the story is that you're trying to tell your potential audience about yourself is super important. So sitting down and figuring out who am I, what am I trying to portray, that's super duper important, because once you figure that out, then everything that you're sort of telling through your music, through what you wear, through what you do, tells your audience who you are and helps you own in on getting that audience. And we work with a bunch of different companies, from like Rock Nation to smaller companies like a Pink is Love or whatever. And our big vision is to help people understand what their brand story is. So if you stay consistent with your messaging and understand, who you are, that's a big part. Because a lot of people think, oh, I know who I am. Oh, sorry, my bad. I know who I am, but when trying to portray that, how do you do that? And obviously when it comes to, coming to an agency like me or coming up with your creative content and your visuals, that's something that, your director should be helping you to figure out. So once you know who you are, once you know who you are, figuring out how you're going to tell that story is very important. And you want to think about unique ways to tell stories. Yes, you can shoot a million videos in front of a corner store, but how can you tell your story in a different way? I think that's really important. And then another part of this is that the world, you have the millennials. I have a problem with millennials sometimes.
Oh, you a millennial. I'm getting millennials.
But I'm old school, and I just believe that the world doesn't owe you shit. So if you go into the world understanding that the world owes you nothing, then you won't be let down when somebody doesn't return your call or your email. You don't give a fuck about that because you understand who you are. And again, that goes back to your brand values. I didn't get to tell you the name of my company. It's Get Shot by a Girl. And that me establishing that brand from the beginning and understanding the story I was going to tell is what has helped me be successful. So that's something I would tell you guys.
Bob, did you want to add something?
No.
Okay. Wait, go ahead. No, you sure? Not sure? Tamia, you sure? Yeah, okay. Okay, so you guys were all talking about like building a team, making sure you don't have yes men around you and having a strong support system. But not everyone knows how to build that support system to have certain discernment. So how do you go about building that team? And we could go down the line because you guys kind of had like quick answers, so we can just go like from 1 to 5. Yeah, you can just start. Yeah.
Building a team. Yeah. That's fun. I know that I have been through about 4 different changing teams through the years. And the thing is that you are
cilantro to cilantro.
Sorry. The thing as in building your team is that you always want them to understand the world you are trying to create, and that's how you get people to sort of stick with you and want to push and work for your brand. I think that you have to establish or figure out who's there for you and who's there for themselves. That's really important. It isn't wrong for people to want to use you, but don't misuse you. You know what I mean? So you want to keep people around you who want to help build your brand. And once you sort of see that it's off a little bit, you have to distance yourself. So everybody has to be in the same sort of line. They have to be in the same sort of focus, or that it won't work. And then you just have to be honest with yourself and be able to let people know, no matter if they're your friends or people you've grown accustomed to, that hey, you just have to go. And also understanding when it's time for your team to grow, because I've worked with a ton of dope directors. One of my dope directors is here that I manage. Aaron is running around with a camera, and he started with me as a PA. Now he's his own brand, working in Cali, Miami, and all of that stuff. So I just think that you just have to recognize when people are ready to grow, and then understand the people who are there to help you grow. I don't know if that makes sense.
That makes sense. Gianni?
So me, I'm a big person on energy, right? So I like to speak to people, get the vibe. If the vibe ain't right, don't do it. I mean, I'm just gonna make it simple and plain. And Tariq, who's actually in the audience, I've known Tariq for like about 3 years, and that's my brother too. He actually hooked me up with my client, which was Melissa and Renee under the TMT brand with Floyd Mayweather. And when he and I met, we actually met through a friend of a friend. So and I think he can attest to the whole like, okay, she's cool, she's not about that yin yang stuff, because there's going to be a lot of people who don't have your best intentions, just like you said, and, you know, of course, to heart. So for me, I'm like, if you don't have that energy, don't even mess with it. And also, if you're like, you know what, this is what I need, I'm also about praying about it and meditating about it and telling the universe, like, look, universe, I need me a dope manager, I need me a dope publicist, this is what I need, and I need it in 2 months. Affirm it, write it down. So when it comes to you, you're like, oh snap, did that really just happen? Because that's just how the universe works. And I don't hope I'm not freaking nobody out with, you know, the energies in the universe and the incense and all that, but that's just how I work and I manifest my life, you know.
Burn some sage.
Oh, I had that at the house.
Burn some sage, get a little murk. Get a little sage, a little murk. From Bob.
So this is technically the way it normally works in the life cycle of an artist. So you're an artist, you're out here grinding. Most likely the first member of your team is going to be a manager, right? So it's like a catch-22 situation. If you're not at a certain level where you're bringing in income, a major manager is not going to really want to deal with you, right? So ultimately what you want to do is presumably find someone on your team, and one of the questions, or not one of the criteria you should look at when you're considering a manager is, one, do they have a vision for you that you have for yourself? Or better yet, do they have a vision for you that you don't have for yourself? So you may see yourself getting here and they're like, look, I think you can go way over here, right? That is someone that you really ultimately want to have on your side. There's no degree to be a music manager. Anybody could be a music manager, right? So ultimately, you want someone that's got good people skills, because this game is about relationships, right? An ability, an inquisitive nature, an ability to learn, because there are some basic fundamentals you need to learn about the business. And someone that, again, is going to grow with you, has the energy, is going to be the one making the phone calls, going to places, helping you go to the studio, do the things that are necessary to get your career. Usually after you get a manager and you've gotten yourself to a certain level, the next step will be to find an attorney, someone like myself, to help you, because at that point, hopefully, you're being approached by record labels, or you're being approached by other more established managers, or you have other opportunities, whether they be branding or endorsement opportunities, and you're going to be presented with contracts which you should never sign without making sure you have some sort of legal counsel. Then once you get a deal, then you go to someone like Elise, who would handle the agent, because an agent's responsibility is to get you employment. It's not really the manager's job. Sometimes people get that fucked up. It's not the manager's job to get you legally under the contract to get you work. It is the agent's job to get you work, right? So that's normally the kind of the way it works in the life cycle of an artist.
That's right, you heard. So manager, agent. Stop asking your manager why he not booking you no gigs. It's not his job. Right?
There you go. And to add to what Bob was saying, it's a great thing to have an agent, and I'm going to step in that area since I am an agent and I own my own agency. You want the agent to be able to identify what's your audience, to be able to identify, do we introduce you in front of the clubs, the colleges, if the record taken off and it became top 10 and you're ready for the arenas, provided that your profession is together in the studio, your dance routines are together, you can sing your songs, whether it's to DAT, to track, or live. Are you ready to open up, or are you ready to be in front because you are that type of artist that command that kind of audience because of record sales, because of digital downloads, because of where you are in your career. Now, as an agent, I'm going to bring that in. How did I surround myself with a team? Coming up as a receptionist, I moved into managing director, agent, and then vice president partner of a firm. I pulled in about 1.3 to 3.5 in sales, and working for the man and the white, 3.5 million in sales. Million in sales. And I dared to be black and female and hang in a white boy's world. They wasn't going to make me president. As far as I could go was vice president. All along while I was doing that, I did not have accountability partners. I didn't have people that had my back that can tell me where to go and how to go. So I stressed myself out, and I call her Lady L. Now I have lupus. Once I was diagnosed with lupus, then I started sitting down with the damn game plan, because I said I can't go any further. I'm worth $400,000, $500,000, but the white boys only want to pay me $180,000. Okay, so I reached out to folks that do what I do. At that time, Ruth Bowen Agency. She's like a godmother. I looked at the successful promoters that needed and leaned on the backs of agencies, and they were my mentors. And you know what? I realized I can do this. I can step out on faith and create my own business. Okay? So again, surround yourself with mentors. Surround yourself with people that can show you and give you leadership. And going back to the artist, and once you have your manager and your attorney, get yourself a good agent. Not the dog, not the auntie, not the mama and Kim, because you are available all over social media. You are hurting folks like myself who are licensed, and this is what we do professionally. Send us your information so we can figure out how to partner up with you. Elise Group 7 Agency, Instagram, Elise Group 7 Agency, Facebook, Elise Murray. You got it? That's what I'm talking about.
Would you like to add something?
Before I had a team, I was the team. And I think it's important to know when you can no longer be your own team anymore. It's important to know when, so the difference between someone telling you what they can do for you and showing you what they can do for you. So, you know, you gotta know that. Some people talk a hell of a good game about what they're gonna do and their credentials. Make sure you find out. Make sure that it's not just hearsay. Make sure it wasn't just a hookup. Do your own research. It's very important. You guys have to have that. The other thing that I learned is to surround yourself with these people. We're all saying the same thing. You need to be in the mix. You've got to be surrounded by people who can help you. You also can't be afraid to ask for help. You know, you can't feel like it's above your means. You can't afford it. You'll never know if you don't ask.
Mita?
Like everyone else said, you just have to do your research. Ask questions. If you're an artist, look at another artist that you are similar to. If you're a singer, find another singer that, you know what, I think I like the way her career or his career is going, or a rapper, or how it's, you know, how it's looking, the outlook, the project, the marketing, everything that they're doing for it. And then perhaps ask questions to get around that team or somebody in that team. There may be a big manager, but there may be an assistant manager that's waiting for his big break to be a manager. who learned from that manager. So you could still carry your career the same way the person that you was looking at, how you liked how it went that way. The other thing that you need to do is you need to be able, when you do find these people and you bring it around you, find yourself somebody that when you fall back, they're gonna catch you. I try to relate everything to life. You need somebody who actually not just cares about your music. You need somebody who cares about you, who is willing to do what is best for you, even if it hurts something that you're doing musically. Because you always come first, and a lot of people jump on the bandwagon. They jump on what's the biggest fad. A lot of people are only concerned about what's best for today, and they are not worrying about what's best for you tomorrow. This is why we have a whole bunch of one-hit wonders. Either you want to be the hottest thing today, or you want to get somebody who's going to help you build a base, build a foundation, build the roots to help you be around, touring. While you're 50 years old, you can still be touring if you have the right team. All right.
That's true.
I just want to add to what we're all saying. And don't be afraid. One day you wake up and you realize, I'm not a singer. I'm not a rapper. Tariq can testify to this. I think it was Tariq and Charles Sessoms that told my brother at the time, I was emceeing with them, and we were called famous MCs. And they said, man, your sister's, her parts, man, her harmonies, man. And my brother had to tell me. And it was emotional because I'm a sensitive creature, I'm a Pisces, I'm a water sign. But it was not, it didn't deter me to go hustle hard in the game. It didn't deter me from switching gears. So if you wake up one day and somebody tells you you stink, tell your brother to tell your sister she needs to be out of the group. Right, Tariq?
Sorry, LaToya.
At the end of the day, it's okay to switch gears. It's okay. You might say, oh, I don't know how to be an agent. I don't know how to be a producer. Then go hang around producers. I walked into an agency and I said, I'm gonna go for this. The phones was ringing, I had an interview, and I said, why am I sitting here? Just letting the phones ring. Let me get up and answer the phones. 4 hours later, they realized, at that time it was General Talent International. He was known as Norby Walters, one of the #1 agents in the world, represent established artists across the country. I answered the phones and I got the job. So don't be afraid to switch gears if you have to.
That's right. Sometimes you gotta kill your dreams in order to get into the place where God wants you to be. And it's not a comfortable place. I used to be behind the scenes, and I had to listen to my spirit because I was tired of being behind the scenes and dressing all these people that I was actually, funnier than or had more energy than. It's like I had to let God just lead me. But for the ladies that are trying to make it in this industry, back in the day they used to have kind of media training and grooming, but now there is no more Motown. It's like how many Instagram followers you have, and if you're Insta famous, people think that just means you can be famous without them grooming you or getting you ready for the show business. So let's start with Gianni because you do PR. So for anyone who's trying to establish their brand or their image, they may be seeing what Cardi B or Amber Rose is doing, but that's not necessarily what they want to do, but they think that they have to do that to get ahead. How can we tap into what we are and present that without feeling slighted?
Well, let me just establish this, because I've had a lot of millennial artists come to me and say...
They go to millennials.
And I say this with love. They think that social media is public relations.
Yes.
That is not it, boo-boo. No. Social media is a conduit for public relations. It's almost like an olive branch. It is not public relations and branding. It can help assist getting you exposure, but it does not replace a public relations professional such as myself. So let me just give a little overview. So a public relations professional actually helps said artist, actor, actress, whomever is of course at the helm to get exposure. So I would be responsible for contacting, let's just use Essence magazine for example. I got, Floyd Mayweather, he's having a big fight. this is just giving them this, the specs. Would you like to interview him? And of course, I'm just paraphrasing. It would be up to me to reach said person at Essence Magazine to get said client exposure, right? So with that being said, I think for artists, especially younger artists, know that social media, like I said, is a conduit. However, social media, it's so crazy because back in the day, and I hate to even say that, yeah, there wasn't social media.
Yeah, there was
there was no artist development. You couldn't. Getting exposure was really, really hard. And you might look at me like, what does she know? I'm almost 40, so I know a little something. Yes,
That's that good melanin. Come on.
Yeah, that's that black seed oil, but I'll tell you about that later. But
Wait, do you drink it?
No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, on a serious note, you didn't have social media to help you put your music out there. You didn't have no SoundCloud. You didn't have no YouTube. You had to be on the ground running. So I say all this to say, use social media to your advantage, and please don't complain like, I don't have enough followers, I only got 1,000 followers. Well, you only been doing this for 6 months. Like, holla at me when you've been doing it for years. And using Cardi B as an example, some people just see Cardi B now, right? And Cardi B is popping, but Cardi B 10 years ago, was it 10, 12 years ago, she was stripping, and what was the place she was stripping at? She was a stripper. But what she did was, she stripped and she took that stripper money and put it to her goal, which was studio time, photo shoots, and things like that. So, but I say all this to say, she took that time, and now you see her, of course, blossom. And a lot of people will say, well, I love her publicist, Patience. I'm sure you probably know who Patience is. She's the larger girl that be with Cardi, it's just like her shadow. And again, you only see Patience like, at Fashion Week, doing this, doing that, but know that Patience is up 12, 13, 14 hours a day, hitting the ground running.
That's right.
She's not just laying back, buying Fendi, at Neiman Marcus, doing her thing. That takes years and years and years to manifest. So.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Okay, this is what happened, guys. Because we want CP time, we are going to now have to just give everybody 30 seconds to just drop that gem on you, and then when they're leaving, we can still network and y'all can still talk to them because we have to get the next panel going. But my man Bob, sorry, we family now, Bob, we're gonna start with you, and then we'll keep the party going. Say now.
So real quick, we're talking about getting record deals and all that. First and foremost, to some degree, you need to understand where the music business is today, okay? And this is what I do every day. First and foremost, content is king. So until you get to the point where you can afford to hire a publicist, you have to be your own publicist in a sense. And social media is something that the record labels look at in determining whether or not they want to even solicit and get you to a deal, right? So unfortunately, that's the reality of the business, right? It's no longer me, Elisa, Mita, we're old enough to remember a time when you came to us, you could sing, you're nice, we're gonna call Puff, we're gonna call Andre, we're gonna call Russell, blah, 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 get a meeting, possibly get you a deal, you're on and it's on the pocket. Those days are far and few in between, right? These days, you wanna get yourself in a position to make the record labels come to you. The second thing I wanna tell you that now it's never been a greater time to be in the hip-hop R&B industry right now, okay? When I tell you that there's money in this game right now, I'm talking about life-changing money in the music business right now, okay? One of the reasons why, the primary reason is because of streaming. Streaming is a new revenue source for the labels, so much so that at the end of the day, record labels are throwing money at artists that they think can stream really well, right? So those of you who are really interested or very serious about this, be serious. Because if you get on, it can really, really change your life, all right? Other than that, as far as signing paperwork and all that, please make sure you consult with an attorney. If you want to hit me on the gram, Bob Celestin. Thanks.
We were just going to go.
Well, let me just say this.
See?
The main important thing that I feel that's going on in the music businesses right now is that people are no longer buying into the content. They are buying into the person. the brand, whoever that person is, or they, you know, I will bring up Cardi B again. It's not her music. It's who Cardi B is that everybody bought into. So I know a lot of people are sitting around like, oh, music is whack, that sounds crazy, why are they putting that on the radio? It doesn't have anything to do with the lyrics, the sound, the beat. It's the whole package of who that person is. So you want to look in the mirror as well, and you want to make sure that you have a personality, because now with being skillful, you now have to know how to act. It is no longer one thing you can do. You have to be able to do 2 and 3 things. If you sing, you need to be able to dance. If you rap, you need to be able to act. One thing is not going to get you anywhere. So, be able to make sure that people can buy into who you are. And what you're selling, whether it's not real to you, it seems real to them.
That's right. And even if you only have 1,000 followers, I gotta know how to pour into those 1,000 followers and, you know, tap into and build it even more. Did you wanna drop a gem? At least an Instagram, let people know where they can find you.
Real quick, my Instagram is @WondaWoman0. WONDA. Woman, WOMAN0.
Cupcake Caddy. It's KUPKAKE Caddy KATTY. Cupcake Caddy Radio Show. Also Trip Over Radio Show. One of the jewels that I could give, I suppose, when I was on, I got my start on the Trip Over Radio Show, and just because I had some insight on how to make the show better. I never saw myself as being a co-host or even branding off and doing my own show until people believed in me. They saw the vision. They liked me. So what Rita's saying is true. When they fall in love with you, when you're all encompassed, then that is part of the brand. And so make sure that you're nurturing that, not letting anybody change that if that's what's working. If it's working for you and it doesn't work for your partners, then it just doesn't work for them. You know what I mean?
That was Jim.
Facebook, Elise Group 7 Agency, ELYSE, Group, the number 7 Agency. Instagram, Elise Murray, ELYSEMURRAY. Pretty Black Girl, Green Dress, Trumpet Award. That's the show.
Hello.
My gems to you is to keep going forward. My gems to you is to believe in yourself. My gems to you is to reach out to us. I don't care if it takes 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, 40 times. Just keep reaching out to us. Communicate. Send us an inbox. And just believe in yourself. Know that you can do it. Okay.
Bob, what's yours real quick again?
Instagram, Bob Celestin, BOBCELESTIN as in Nancy.
And you, Gianni?
My business handles Instagram 15east_MG. That's for Twitter and Instagram. And my personal Instagram is GMoney_CMB. And Twitter is _GMoney_CMB. And check me out. I have my own website, which is www.15eastmediagroup.com.
And last but not least, Taya, what's yours?
All my information is under Taya Simmons. So Instagram, Facebook. My branding is Get Shot by a Girl. So if you're looking for our work, it's www.getshotbyagirl.com. And real quick, I just want to jump in and defend Cardi a little bit because we do work with her. I am on the opposite side. I do believe she established her brand at first. She had been working way before Love and Hip Hop and establishing who she was and how authentic she was, and that's why people brought into her brand later. She's not one of those artists who just popped all of a sudden. What she did do was that she jumped on an opportunity. The thing is, you always have to be ready when opportunity knocks, and that's where Love and Hip Hop sort of comes out, and it helps you to expand your brand. And then all the other workings come, you know, everything that we've been talking about comes in from that. So now you have your team, then you start pushing your brand, then you have your content, and you stay consistent and you stay dope, and that's how you blow in a perfect world.
That's right.
Defend my girl. But anyway, everything is
she works with Patience. You Patience cousin? You got the same cheeks as Patience. We know Patience.
Yeah,
you precious. Patience. patient's cousin. We're gonna wrap this up though. Make sure you guys, like I said, they're gonna still stick around. You have to talk to them as they're moving around the room. Clap it up a little louder for our panelists. And we got DJ Jazzy Joyce is back. Follow her on Instagram as well at DJ Jazzy Joyce. See or no? Jazzy Joyce?
Yeah, it's not.
No DJ.
It's not. Anyway.
Yeah, we gonna write to the next panel?
Shouts to the panelists. They were right on point. I've known most of them throughout my career. I've seen them, and I've seen them.
Hey everybody, we are here at Femcon. As you can see, it's still going down. We got Panama Red doing a thing right now. The night is incredible. Make sure you reach out to DJ Tariq for more information for next year, Femcon 2019. This is your girl, Deborah Coco, in the building again with DJ Mario TV. We're here at the Watson Hotel, yeah, and it's been a blast. See you next year.